I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change.
Hello and welcome. Nice to be at your place wherever you're watching us right around the world. Welcome to round 5 of season 2 of AGT's ACC Championship, and tonight our drivers will be taking on a new format this week with our first endurance round of the season. We're just outside the Big Apple here for the American Grand Prix at Watkins Glen tonight. Our drivers will be tackling our first multi-stage knockout qualifying session of the season as we get set for the big race on Sunday. We cannot wait to get this one underway, but without any further ado, it's time to, I'm joined to introduce the man, Mr. AGT himself. We're back for another week. I speak of the one, the only Isaac Fogarty. Good evening to you.
Yes, good evening, Trev. Good evening, everybody watching at home. It's a pleasure to be here. We are back, as you said, for round 5. Another week, another stint in the commentary box. We're here in lovely New York, or just outside New York this week for the American Grand Prix at Watkins Glen. I'm absolutely excited, pumped for this one, Trev.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to get this one underway. The drivers just getting their final practice runs in. That was round 1, the Italian job. Seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? Back on the 2nd of May. And then, of course, round 2, the round that never was. But it will be, Isaac, if you catch my drift, the Spanish Super Sprint. That will be taking place on Friday the 4th of July. And then, of course, round 3 was the Silverstone Clash on the 23rd of May. And round 4, the King of the Ring. What a race that was. That ended up being our first sprint round of the season, and that was an absolutely terrific time at the Red Bull Ring. As we take a look at the drivers' standings, Isaac, and still there's a little bit of a gap there in the Pro and the Pro-Am class, but still plenty to play for with half a season remaining.
Yeah, the lead is starting to grow a little bit, and there's no James Machen this week, so he's sitting 2nd in the championship at the moment. No points on offer tonight, it's just a qualifying session, but he won't be featuring in the race on Sunday at this stage, so that is huge for his championship. Matt Donetti, however, 56 points out in front. Simon Bishop, he's 140 behind, missed out last time out, so he'll be looking to make up some points this weekend, hopefully. 300 on offer for a race win here in the endurance race. Shannon Staley leads the way in the Pro-Am series with 69 points over Adam Gray, and then 96 back to his CP Racing teammate Riley Nicholson. And then it's very close at the front of the AM field. The Kiwi pit lane teammates Ian Stewart, Wayne Tanner, 2 points separate them in this one, and Matt Boyd for Fogarty Motorsport Jr. sits 22 points behind, so nice and close in that AM class.
Absolutely. Would love to be a fly on the wall in the Kiwi pit lane paddock, that's for sure there, between Wayne and Ian. We'll keep an eye on that one tonight. The Teams Championship and CP Motorsports, Isaac, they are creeping away, but still, like we said, we've still got a lot of racing to go in this championship.
Yeah, only technically round 5, but we're only really 4 rounds in. This will be the 4th round of racing that we've had so far in this championship. So 85-point gap. It's not a lot. Keep in mind, both CP Motorsports and TTR Westside are missing a driver this round. So BCG2 or BCG1 even, the chance to have a massive swing in points and come back through. BCG2 missing a driver as well. So for Simon Bishop and the fill-in driver stepping in for Liam Tame, Gary, who I've forgotten his last name.
Gary Windsor, I think. Yep.
Gary Windsor stepping into that 111 BMW for BCG1. They've got a chance to claw this championship back and take it by the scruff of the neck, so that's going to be really exciting.
Absolutely, and we'll keep an eye on that. Look at how close you can see they're 7th to 10th, very tight in the Teams Championship. Tonight, we are here just outside of the Big Apple for the American Grand Prix here at Watkins Glen. We heard the knockout qualifying details for tonight. And then, Isaac, we've got a huge race on Sunday. 2 hours of non-stop action around this circuit again on Sunday.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing to come our way. 2 hours, as you mentioned, 120 minutes, 2 mandatory stops. But tonight is all about qualifying, Trev. We've got 3 sessions, knockout stage format. So we've got about 28 drivers on the grid at this stage. And we'll see drivers 21 through to, or 21 and below decided in that first 20-minute session. We'll then move into a 15-minute session where the top 20 drivers will have a chance to make the shootout. And then something I'm very excited for, the first ever top 10 shootout in AGT. We will go, and each driver in the top 10, they'll get the track to themselves for an entire lap. And that is something that is absolutely magical and something that every driver is keen to experience. And with the close quality times we've seen every round so far, Trev, I could not be more enthusiastic for what lays ahead of us tonight.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Incredible, wasn't it? 20 plus drivers covered by a second, just over a second last time out at the Red Bull Ring. But Isaac, we're going to have a look at this circuit, the famous Watkins Glen. It's hosted pretty much every form of motorsport in its time, of course. F1, you name it, it is an incredible circuit, 11 corners. And it all begins with the 90, followed by the S's. A very tight, tricky, technical circuit here, this one.
Yeah, it's a very technical circuit. Obviously, the big long back straight into the inner loop. We also call it the bus stop. Then to the outer loop, down the hill to the chute, and then it's very aptly named. If you look at the picture, it becomes pretty obvious. We've got the boot, the toe, and then the heel of the boot up into turns 9 and 10. This is a flat-out corner 10 for some cars if they can get it right. It's turn 11, back down the front straight. Obviously, 11 corners as you mentioned, 6 to the left, 5 to the right. The Americans, they don't really know too much about turning right, but they like to put those corners in. 42 meters of elevation change on the run up the hill through the S's. So that's going to be where a lot of cars, especially if they've got a bit of weight in it, are going to struggle.
Absolutely, and just thinking about the we saw in some of the practice times, Isaac, those BMWs are looking very quick, aren't they, as we head into qualifying proper this evening?
Yeah, little birdie told me we might be looking at some 43s in that practice session, so I would expect to see some very fast times in qualifying from those BMWs. 5 kilos taken out of it for this race today, but do not discount the Mustang. It's incredibly quick in a straight line. It's only got 6 kilos of ballast in it. They are flying up that hill.
Absolutely, as we wait for our drivers to get out onto the circuit. And the time for talking is almost over now. As we can see there, our drivers not moving an awful lot there, Isaac, as they get ready to get onto the circuit there. But we'll just wait for our drivers. We're just having some issues there at the moment. But I tell you what we might do. We'll head back to a beautiful view of this circuit while we get those issues sorted. But Isaac, the drivers will be looking to get out nice and early and really get a time on the board early, of course, with 26 cars, I believe, this evening. That track position and clear air is going to be very, very important for them tonight.
Track position is going to be everything, especially in this first session. We've got almost 30 cars, on the grid, and 3 sessions. So this first session is going to be incredibly crowded. The second session, not as much so, but there's still going to not be a whole heap of room, so you'll need to be very cautious about where you exit the pit lane and try and find your own piece of real estate. That top 10 shootout, though, is where it matters. You get the whole track to yourself. There's no one around you, so it's only you. You don't have anyone to slipstream off. You don't have anyone to get in your way and impede you. So it's all about making it through to that 10. That is what is going to be crucial for these drivers, is making sure that they get through that session. But in order to do that, you're going to have to navigate your way through the traffic in these first 2 sessions. And we could see, if traffic does potentially play a role, we could see some big names knocked out early.
Absolutely. We've seen it happen in the past, haven't we, with drivers being knocked out. And I can tell you that we are just looking to some issues. There we go. That looks a little bit better. We do apologise for the slight stuttering there on this occasion, but now we're seeing the drivers out on the circuit. We've got a 20-minute session first up here, Isaac, and as we said, very important for all of these drivers to get out and set a lap nice and early. Look at the track map, and wow, track temperature saying it's just 10 degrees Celsius. But you and your little birdies, Isaac, we don't believe that's entirely accurate.
No, it says it's very cold, but feedback from the drivers is that it says it's cold. It's actually not that cold. It is indeed well up into the 20s in terms of track temperature. It's just a visual glitch for the server. So no drivers really complaining about the track temperature at this stage. We believe it's a visual glitch. You see, this is Nick Carter on screen now, the sole TTR Mustang this week, and he is pushing that car to the limit at the moment. You can see how aggressive he was through the inner loop and the bus stop there into the outer loop now. He is he's pushing hard in that car early on in this session. It's crucial to get a banker lap in because you never know what could happen with traffic towards the end of this session.
Absolutely. We can see all these drivers just getting ready on their formation laps. We talked about big names out this evening, and they don't come much bigger than Aidan Holt, and of course CP Motorsports, Matty Simmons, James Machin, and the one and only Liam Tame. Also out, of course, Gary Windsor stepping in for Liam Tame in the BCG car. And so really, when we took a look at the Teams Championship there a moment ago, Isaac, there's at least one driver out, but BCG2, I believe, still have 2 drivers in the field, don't they, this evening?
They sure do, yeah. BCG, I believe it's actually BCG 1 have 2 drivers. So BCG 2 are missing Matt Simmons. BCG 1 have the services of Gary Windsor with them for this round. So he's jumping in to the 111 BMW to make his debut in AGT. And he's doing a wonderful job. He's been getting a bit of practice in. He's showing some very quick lap times, so hopefully we'll see him well inside that top 20. And you can see time starting to come in now. Adam Gray with a 1:45.1. Nick Carter 2/10 off that. I expect 1:44.6, sorry, for Adam Elzine in the Porsche. I expect we'll see times much faster than that as this session wears on.
Absolutely, as Adam Elzine goes to the top with a 44.6, although I think we're going to see times a lot quicker than that. You can see they're very close right the way throughout the field here this evening. Don't forget about the AM class, the Kiwi boys there. Very tight championship for them, that's for sure. And this circuit, we had a look at this one, 11 corners, the back straight. Where are some of the passing opportunities here tonight? Not that they'll be looking to pass tonight unless they're in some traffic, but come Sunday, where's the best opportunity, Isaac, to get through on this circuit?
Well, you've got to look at your heavy braking zones. You can get a nice run out through turn 1. You could be looking up the hill towards the S's and along towards the bus stop. You can get a nice deep braking zone there. Make a move if you're brave, if you're bold enough. You've got to have some big moves in going through there. But then down the bottom into turn 6 as well, we've seen a couple of drivers try to make sneaky overtakes. All through that final sector really is an opportunity for you to overtake if you can. A nice run through 10 and 11 will serve you well into turn 1 as well. So it's less about specific corners being able to, like, being good for overtaking, and more about positioning yourself well to take advantage where you can.
Absolutely, as we see those times now, they're getting serious, aren't they? As we see Struick there, or Geesh as he's more commonly known, with a 43.9. Did you say 43s, Isaac? Because guess what? We're there already with 14 minutes left in Q1. This is incredible, the pace they're already setting here.
Yeah, they're absolutely flying at the moment, and I'll be honest, I had no doubt. 43.9 for Struick already in this session. He is absolutely flying, and I will not be surprised if it's not too long before we see some other drivers getting up into that top, that 43 mark as well.
Let's have a look here, 43.672 there for Josh Struick, TTR Southside. Well, they're doing very nicely indeed here with, well, they're 1 and 2, aren't they, here at the moment in the Mustang. And very nicely indeed. Then it is the Porsche into the pit lane. Elzine coming out again. And then Carter. So 3 Mustangs inside the top 4. Then 2 Mercedes-Benz there. Looking very nice indeed there. P6, look at that. P7. And this is going to be interesting. Anthony Burrows there for TTR Eastside. So the TTR boys are dominating so far. As you can see, we've also, Isaac, got to keep a very keen eye, don't we, from P20 onwards with this brand new knockout format here in this Adrenaline GT series. First time we're doing it, and you can see there, look how close it is going to be. If right throughout the field, it's going to be tight down to that last P20.
Yeah, you look at the spread between the top guys, you've got to remember there's a similar spread throughout all the cars in the field. We've got 29 cars currently in this lobby, so 9 cars, will lose out and have to sit out for the remainder of qualifying. Essentially, they'll be knocked out. And currently, that cutoff starts with Matt Boyd. So 21st and down will not make it through to the next session, and that's only 3 thousandths of a second separating Matt Boyd between, it's now a bit less as other drivers continue to improve. Matt Donetti, I believe, has gotten a time in that's vaulted him up the order he has. He's now second, immediately returned to the pit lane. You may see a few guys as well, Trevor, in this session, like Josh Struick, like Matt Donetti, like Simon Bishop, set a time, be happy enough with that time. They're not going to be under threat to lose out to the top 20, and will jump back into the lane.
Absolutely, and what are we thinking for the cutoff there? Is it going to be a 40? It's going to be well and truly into a 45 here as we take a look at Anthony Burrows there, and you can see Sandwood there in the Ferrari. How are we expecting these Ferraris to go? Oh, big moment there from Sandwood. And it is a circuit, it's a very undulating sort of circuit, isn't it? If you get it wrong, you can get it wrong in a big, big way. As we see him come through the toe or the boot. Might be the bottom of the boot, approaching the heel. I'm going to get that one wrong over the course of this weekend. But the Ferraris, well, they've been a little bit off the pace here. Do they not like this Watkins Glen circuit?
Lack top end speed, really. It's just it's a constant ache in the Ferrari side at a lot of circuits we've been going to this season. It's just not suited to those high speed circuits where you need to have the top end. So he'll be pushing pushing his boot as flat to the floor as it'll go, pushing that gas pedal until it cannot go any further through the floor. American coming out there saying gas instead of accelerator. I'm getting within the spirit of the country. You can see there, Les Sandwith improves to 16th place, just a little bit off now, 2.1 seconds off the lead of the race, or the lead of the session, sorry. And this is also interesting as well. This is what we also could keep an eye on throughout this session, this little 10th, 11th, 12th bubble, because this is where it's going to play a key role in the next qualifying session. The drivers that are on the bubble now, they're not under threat in this session, they will be under threat in the next session.
Absolutely, we've got to keep a very, very keen eye on this. We're taking a look at another Ferrari. Good to see a red Ferrari there of James Barton. Look at that, a couple of tenths, almost 3/10 of a second. He's just outside that top 10. Let's see what this time will net him. He's 1.6 seconds off provisional pole position as he comes across the line, stays there, and well, we can see there Josh Struick at the top. TTR doing very nicely in this session. A 43.560. Whoa! Someone call the NASA agency, because this is pure alien activity here that we're seeing at Watkins Glen so far in Q1.
I think we're in America this weekend. I think we need to get the CIA involved, take these guys back to Area 51. They're clearly aliens. They're not from this world. The pace that Josh Struick has at the moment, I don't want to get too bold, but I wouldn't be surprised if he can knock half a second of that and get himself into a 42, because he's just flying. And Martinetti, he's done. He's set his time. He's within the 43s. He knows he's not going to be a threat to that top 20, so he's not pushing himself any more than he needs to. Josh Struick is just out there for fun at the moment. He's getting laps in, gaining experience, because at this stage it looks like it's a pretty sure thing he'll make it to that top 10 shootout. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. I probably just have, but he's going to dive into the lane now. But it's all about gaining experience as well for that top 10 shootout, making sure you can nail the lap when you get in. This is Simon Bishop now coming back out on the circuit, wants to improve his time, because remember as well, when we go through the next session, yes, it's about being inside the top 10, but it's also about your position within the top 10, because it'll be the reverse order. So if you qualify 10th, you'll go out first. If you qualify on pole, you'll go out last. So depending on where you want to be throughout that session, you might want to be closer to that top end, so you might have to go out and do another lap.
Perhaps, well, interesting. There's going to be some strategy at play there, I reckon. We've got 8 minutes left in Q1. Let's have a look at Simon Bishop, or just Si, as he's known to his very close friends there. You can see 6/10 off the pace. We know 43s are going to be fairly safe, maybe 44s as well, as we see Simon Bishop here coming through turn 6 at the chute, heading towards the toe. Very difficult braking zone, slightly uphill, you can see there. Just misses the apex on this part of the corner. Is he going full beans on this lap? We've got a driver off at the bus stop there. Let's wait and see who that is. Is it car number 79? No, it's not. It looks like car number 16 has had a big moment there. It looks like it could be Elzine in the Porsche. He's had a big moment there, and he is well and truly in the fence there, Isaac.
Yeah, that's his. Don't know whether that's a moment or whether he's just decided to park it in the fence. You would hope that he's not just decided to park it there, because that's throwing yellows. That's very inconvenient for drivers trying to come through and set a time. But yeah, if he has had a moment there, that is a huge moment. It's so easy to do in that braking zone, especially if you just use the curb in slightly the wrong way and it's spat into the outside. He's sitting against the fence now. And yeah, hopefully he can get it back to the pits. He's sitting in 7th place at the moment, so not a huge danger to be knocked out in this session. it'd be a lot of guys that would need to improve for him to be worried about that. But hopefully he can get it back to the pits, get out and set another time. This is Nick Carter on a lap at the moment, just started his flying lap, I believe. He's sitting fourth at the moment. He's doing a good job, sitting at about a 44.3 at this stage.
Absolutely, looking very good for that easily top 20, of course. But as we see, Elzine, car number 16, the Porsche has cleared the bus stop there. The spectators didn't look too enthusiastic, did they? And every second one of them looked the same as the one before them. But anyway, that's what you get. We're not worried about what's happening off the track, Isaac. We're worried about what's happening on the track as our top three are in the pit lane. And as soon as I said I didn't think we'd see them for the rest of this session, we've got Matt Donetti coming out from pit lane there onto a very, very busy track, although it looks as though most of our drivers have the space that they need. The first of the Ferraris with James Barton there, car number 91 in P11, just outside that top 10. But look how close it is. P20 Sheepers there in P20, holding down that P20 spot. And boy, it's going to come down. It's a couple of tenths between 20 and 21. And could we see, are we thinking any AM drivers are going to sneak into that top 20? I know we've still got 5 minutes to go, Isaac.
Well, there's some big names that are currently sitting outside that top 20, and that's Josh Gordon is one of those guys in the 25 Aston Martin. This is sort of uncharacteristic for him to be this far off the pace in a race like this. Gary Windsor, I would have thought we'd see up a bit higher as well. David Corbino, who's in the number 3 Mercedes on debut this weekend, but he has a lot of experience in at this circuit, so I would think that we'd see those guys pushing towards top 20. We certainly may do. They may have not got a proper lap together just yet, so we'll keep a close eye on that. This is Josh Gordon on our screens at the moment. We've got a couple questions about track temp, so just a reminder as well that it is a visual glitch. We can confirm it's not actually 10 degrees on the track. That would be very inconvenient for our drivers, but it is a visual glitch, so do not stress. It is not that cold. It's okay. But this is, Josh Gordon on the screen at the moment. We'll see what he can do. He's coming through the heel at the moment and up into, this will be turn 9. This is a really tricky corner to get right. I struggle to make the apex of this corner most of the time, just trying to rotate the car, but still carry enough speed through the corner. You feel like you're going a lot slower than what you need to, but it's an uphill braking section, really tricky. Through turn 10, towards turn 11, you can really throw the car in here, abuse the apex, run the car nice and wide, get close to the wall if you can. Will he improve here? I would hope he would. He does, but not by a lot. He only goes to 20 seconds, still 2.8 seconds off of pole position at this stage, and about 5 tenths off of P20. So he's about 5 tenths off the bubble at the moment.
Ooh, it's going to be very tight with just a tick over 3 minutes remaining around this beautiful 5.5 kilometre circuit here at the Glen, as it's called, located, of course, in the great state of New York. 11 corners, 6 to the left, 5 to the right, 141 feet of elevation. And let's take a look. I don't think we're going to see any improvements in those top 4 to 5 positions. But with 3 minutes remaining, we've got about half a dozen drivers in the pit lane. And it seems that this man yet to set a time. And Twining is in the pits. And are we going to see him be able to get out there and set a time? This is going to be interesting. He is, what's he got? He's got Victory Motorsport there. Clayton Twining in the Mercedes. I wonder what's happening there. Does he have time to get out and set a time here, Isaac?
It's tricky. He takes about 1 minute and 45 seconds, maybe about 1 minute and 50 on a warm-up lap to get out and get around. So I don't think you'll see him unless he goes out now, which is disappointing, but he'll have to start from towards the back. There'll be a couple of cars that will have missed qualifying, so he won't start last, but he will start towards the back. So that's disappointing for him, but hopefully we'll see him get out and set a lap in time maybe. This is George Cash on screen at the moment in the 24 McDonald's BMW, doing a wonderful job. He's still a bit off the pace, but he's doing a great job, just trying to find as much as he can out of that car. Looking at our bubble at the moment, we have Andrew Griffin sitting on the bubble at the moment. He's in the pit lane, Trev, so unless he goes back out now, he will not improve. So it's going to be up to these guys. Massive power slide for Mark Sinclair through the final corner. He had that on the absolute limit. And yeah, unless... Can Mark Sinclair improve? No, he can't that time around. So unless Andrew Griffin can get out, which he hasn't, he's still in the lane. So that's it. He's now relying on the guys behind not improving.
Oh, this is interesting. Griffin there sitting... Well, he's very much a sitting duck here as well as we take a look at this man, Tanner. And look at this in the AM class, of course. Big championship battle happening there, but just over a minute remaining in this session. It's going to go down to the wire, isn't it? Oh, P1 to P20 will go through. 21 to, what do we got? 29 will be out, so we're going to lose 9 drivers as Tanner is pulling up there and back into the pits. We've lost another one as Mr. Corbino just fresh into this round 5 here at the American Grand Prix. Can he get into the top 20? And he's just coming around to the heel now. So will he get another crack at this?
He might make it in time. I'm not entirely sure. It's very close. 30 seconds to go. He might just get there. So it depends how he feels about this lap, whether he's got the tyres to go again. He's one of a few drivers on the bubble. Mark Sinclair's gone back to the lane. Most cars towards the top actually are in the pits, so it's just these guys down the bottom end of the totem that are now trying to set times. Here we go. This is David Corbino driving, a slight touch with the wall as he came out of the final corner. Can he improve across the line? He does, but only to 21st. Is he going to go again? He just got there in time, so he does have the ability to go again if he so chooses. That might have been an invalidation. That was very close, but we'll wait and see. Mark Sinclair, Josh Gordon improves to 20th, so he knocks out Andrew Griffin. So Josh Gordon now sits on the bubble. So he's the 20th place driver. Now, I don't know if anyone behind is improving. Matt Boyd crosses the line. He will not improve. This is very close, Trev.
And look at that, P20 and P21 with identical times. You couldn't script this, Isaac, could you? For AGT, this is incredible. And here comes, there's Gordon into the pit, so it's down to Mr. Corbino. Let's wait and see what he can do. Griffin into the pit, so is Tanner, so is Boyd. I think Sinclair's out there somewhere. Might have had an incident there, but let's have a look and see what the debutant can do here in the number 3 Mercedes AMG car. And Corbino coming around now, turn 7. He's got to get a good run up the hill here for turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. And he doesn't need much, does he, Isaac? He just needs 1/1000th of a second. Anything will get him into the top 20 here.
He just needs any sort of improvement. He'll take it. We were asked in drivers briefing what happens if drivers on the bubble have the exact same time. I didn't think it would happen, and they've proved me wrong in the first session. This is absolutely incredible. He has got this car on the absolute limit as he runs towards the line, Trev.
Well, it all comes down to this. Final corner coming up, turn 11. He's got to get the exit right. He does, leaving nothing on the table. He comes across the line. Can he make it into the top 20? Yes, he can. 0.3 of a second. An incredible lap. Oh my goodness me. Let's just take a breath. David Corbino, take a bow. He's in for Bowen Piper, and Defy Motorsports will be very, very happy with that.
We can see the Defy Motorsports fans in the AGT YouTube chat at the moment. Very, very happy. But that is an incredible lap on debut as well. He's left it to the last minute, got in there. What a job. So unfortunately that means Josh Gordon will be knocked out. We'll have a look as well in a second at what other drivers have been knocked out of this session. We've got Andrew Griffin in 20 seconds. So his place is locked in for the start on Sunday for the starting grid. Then we've got Wayne Tanner 23rd, Mark Sinclair 24th, Matt Boyd 25th, Gary Windsor on debut in 26th, and then I believe it was Ian Stewart in 27th, and George Takacs in 28th, and then Clayton Twining yet to set a time. So we'll have to see. The drivers that were knocked out in that session will leave the lobby now, and we'll go for Q2.
Absolutely underway. Q1 is done, my friends, and Q2 is underway now. Slightly shorter session, and of course, just the 15 minutes rather than 20. And this will be 11 to 20 will be eliminated in this session. I've got to say, this knockout format is very, very popular with drivers and fans alike. And you can see that we've got Nick Carter out onto the circuit here at the moment, looking very, very good indeed, trying to jostle for position here out on the track. Of course, 9 less cars out on the circuit to begin this session, of course, and right throughout this Q2 session. So drivers just jostling for some track position. What times we've seen 43s, of course, 43.5s in that Q1 session. Are we going to see quicker times? Are we going to see similar times? What can Simon Bishop do? Matt Donetti, the big names that we have here in this championship. Round 5, of course, here at Watkins Glen for the American Grand Prix. Season 2 of AGT, ACC. It is looking very, very good indeed here. As we see Carter out there, and drivers just jostling for position here. Like we said, Elzine in the Porsche on this occasion, looking to get a lap early. So it's all going to be, once again, it's all going to be about that track position in this Q2 session.
It's absolutely going to be all about track position. This is where it's going to be crucial. You want to make sure that you get the best possible lap in to make sure that you can get to that top 10 when this session is over. So a few drivers you can see there still sitting in the lane. They're the drivers that have been knocked out of this session and will not be allowed to participate in the remainder of the session. But in saying that, we now have 12 minutes for the top 20 drivers to decide positions 11 through 20, and then we are going to go top 10 shootouting for pole position in this race. Matt Donetti, Simon Bishop and Josh Struick already proving that they are towards the top. Nick Carter as well, trying to throw his hat in the ring for that pole position, and anything can happen over the course of one lap because you only get one, and they get multiple goes at it in this session. If you mess up a lap, you can go again. If you mess up a lap in the top 10 shootout, you don't get to go again.
That's for sure. There is no tomorrow here. Well, there is Sunday, of course, but there's Saturday in between there. And we can see here that seen there, not a great session for him in Q1. Of course, he was stuck there at the bus stop. But we are going to see these times start tumbling. The BMWs, they always look good here, Isaac, around this circuit. And you can see here on this occasion, Fleming coming around, so just getting ready to start their qualifying laps here. And Henderson now, Mercedes, how have you seen their performances so far in Q1? They've been there or thereabouts, but not really dominating in that Q1 session.
No, there was some concerns over the pace of the Mercedes coming to this. It has got a little bit of weight in it this time around, but I think they've done quite well so far. Braden Henderson, he's towards the back half of the top 10 in that opening qualifying session, so not a horrible result by any stretch of the imagination. He's doing some really good times, and we are working on getting those times for you, so I can sort of run you through what sort of numbers we might be looking at as we get through this session. But Nick Carter leads the way at the moment, a 45 dead. Anthony Burrows just off the back of him, and then James Barton about a 10th away. So times are starting to tumble early in this session.
Absolutely. 45.062 for Carter. And there's Anthony Burrows not too far behind him, and James Barton as well is up there. Now Fleming, these times are tumbling big time here. And once again, it's going to be close, but 45 zeros. What on earth is going on with that, Isaac?
45 zeros. Well, we saw 43, sorry, in that opening qualifying session. So 45-0 for Nick Carter. We'll probably be a bit frustrated with that, actually, considering he's in the Mustang. This is Cameron Fleming. He's doing a wonderful job as the sole BCG2 car with no Matt Simmons this weekend. Oh, look at the bounce over the curbs. You have to use as much curb as you can around here, but it's a catch-22 because it unsettles the car just so much. And with weight taken out of this BMW, yes, that's an advantage in a straight line, but it's not going to serve you well over the curbs because the more weight you have, the more stable it keeps the car. So he'll be trying to sort of find the happy medium where you can ride the curbs just enough, but it's not too much that it will throw the car around. No,
we can see there Simon Bishop 1-4. Oh my goodness, a 43.985. That is not of this world as we see him. Can he go quicker than that too? He's on another flying lap here.
And that'll be the question. Can he go faster? Look at the time that Josh Struick has done as well. 300ths away from Simon Bishop. This is electric stuff in this qualifying 2 session. We still have 8 minutes to go. Adam Gray, 5 tenths off. He's back in the lane. Max Silva gets himself up into 5th place as well. David Corbino, I thought I did see. Maybe I lost him. He's 1.7 seconds off. So that's a lot faster than what he was doing in the previous session. So he's already improving his time as well. This is brilliant stuff.
Absolutely, Mr. Corbino. Boy, did he leave it to the last second, or beyond the last second. And you can see that, boy, did he give us something to watch at the end of Q1. That was incredible, wasn't it? It was 2.3 exactly, and then he just went even quicker. And I think that, oh, and that is a big off there. Boy, you give them a wrap and they let you down. I think he's gone straight into the pit lane. He just went off at full speed there. I'm really not sure what happened.
Yeah, that's a huge incident. Maybe just the car a little bit unsettled. Here we go, Nathan Lee using the Ferrari. You don't want to use a lot of curb through the bus stop in that car because it's so low to the ground. It'll just unsettle and throw the car around if you use too much of it. But he's doing a wonderful job of just using just the right amount. You've got to find the Goldilocks zone, we call it, now through the chute towards the boot now. This is towards the toe. This is an uphill braking zone, a few uphill braking zones on this circuit, and it provides a tricky challenge for our drivers. You sort of ride the brake a bit, trail brake through this corner, carry as much speed as you can though, because you want to get up the hill as quickly as possible. And that Ferrari, it lacks a bit of oomph.
Let's have a look here through the final couple of corners we go. 8, 9, 10, 11. And I'm getting a bit ahead of myself there because we're only at turn 9. Oh, there's something about a beautiful red Ferrari that just gets me going. As let's have a look here. Difficult to get this one right. As you can see here through turn 10 we go. He's run a little bit wide there. Is that going to affect this final part of the lap? Let's have a look. Out of the final corner he goes. What can he do here? 2 seconds off of the pace. He comes across the line. Does Nathan Lee, and he cannot improve. It was a sweet lap. We could almost call him Daryl Lee, but not quite good enough to get to improve on that occasion. And that's a terrible dad joke, of course, but we've got 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this session. And it's, look, it's the usual suspects, 1, 2, and 3 at the moment.
Yeah, look, is anyone really surprised? Bishop, Struick, Donetti, this is what I think this session is going to be. Braden Henderson and Adam Gray, though, getting themselves up there after difficult qualifying ones. So that's what we like to see. 7 tenths off for Adam Gray. Matt Donetti, 4 tenths off so far. So maybe not as strong a qualifying as he wants. Might not have got his lap together so far, but he's well inside the top 10 at the moment. Not too stressed. Looking down towards the back half of the top 10, you've got James Barton, Max Silva, Anthony Burrows, Bob Norley, Cameron Fleming, Adam Joy, all within half a second of each other.
This is incredible. It's going, oh, and Silva there. Just
that
going.
Won't help you.
No, absolutely. He's back onto the circuit. Is Max, and P8 there for him at the moment. That's he's still got plenty of time though. He can recover. As we see Burrows now in some traffic. Looks like he's behind one of the BMWs there. And Norley in the Mercedes as well. But Corbino, I tell you what, very, very impressed with his work. Apart from when he went off sideways at the bus stop at a couple of 100 miles an hour. But no, he's been looking good, and we can see still we've got Sheepers, Sinclair in the pits, and Stewart yet to set times. So are they leaving it right to the last minute, maybe when the track has rubbered in, but you really want to be getting out there and getting on with it.
Well, Stewart and Sinclair were actually qualified outside the top 20. Sinclair qualified 24th and Stewart qualified 28th. So they're actually not able to go out and set a time. I believe, there we go, one of them has just left. Stewart has just left, I believe. And Sinclair will continue to sit in the lane. They're just sort of spectating at the moment. We do ask the drivers, once the session is finished, to leave so that we know what drivers are still remaining in the session. But at this stage, only Sheep has left to set a time. He should come out to set a time. David Corbino, only 2 seconds off of our provisional pole sitter in Simon Bishop at the moment, and 2 seconds would put him at a 45.7, which is still a very respectable lap time.
Absolutely, you can see. Oh, here comes Sheepers. Sheepers, Creepers, here we go. Look, here he is, car number 22. Have we got a change at the top? No, we don't, but I think those first sort of 4 or 5 are locked in. But it's going to get interesting here because look how close it is. We've got Norley there, 1.2, only a 1/10 of a second, 3.5 minutes remaining in this session. They're going to get we think we're going to get 2 runs at this, 2 goes at it for our drivers. But let me tell you, it's going to be very, very tight indeed. Taking a look at Mr. Norley here through the bus stop. So easy to get it all wrong there in that part of the circuit. You can see around we go then, approaching the boot. And it is a very busy track out there with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's heating up with only 3 minutes to go in this session. Having a look at who's close to the bubble, less than half a second between 10th or 9th place, I should say, and all the way back to 16th. So it's a very close spread of a field at the moment. Anyone could get inside that top 10. I think you need to be doing a 44.5. Oh, look at the warm-up from Adam Elzine in the background. This is Bob Norley sitting 11th place at the moment. He is 1.2 seconds off of Simon Bishop and is about a 1/10 off of Anthony Burrows in front for that top 10 spot. He'll want to improve by more than 10th. He'll need probably about half a 10th here to make sure you're absolutely safe. There's no chance you can be knocked out. That would put him up into 7th place. So if you're in 7th place or lower, I'd be very concerned at this stage.
Absolutely, anything can happen, and it usually does, that's for sure. 2/10 between Henderson and Barton. Max Silver through the bus stop we go. Ooh, this is going to get interesting, isn't it? Let's wait and see what happens here. Do not go anywhere. I say it every week, Isaac. I don't know whether they listen to me or not, but very wide, not the ideal line to be taking in your last run in Q2.
No, that's going to invalidate. He should have enough time to get around and go again, but that will invalidate his lap time. He's sitting on the bubble at the moment. Again, this is what we're going to start talking about. Drivers on the bubble. Max Silver, he'll back off, reset, let the tyre temperature come down, push to go again. He'll want to get one more lap in, and you should get a lap in. If you're coming through towards the final sector, or the second sector now, so any driver that's already through the bus stop will get around to go again. Max Silver's backed off to let a couple drivers that are on flying laps go, give himself a bit of clean air. That's smart. Sheepers, he's on a lap at the moment. He might get around to go again, not entirely sure. Didn't use a lot of track there, wide on the exit, so didn't carry a whole heap of speed. But it's going to be very interesting. I'm very excited to see what happens. We're looking at Cameron Fleming is about a second off, and then you've got to go all the way down to Riley Nicholson before you find someone that's half a second outside of that. And finding half a second at this circuit, not difficult to do.
Certainly not. And if you no longer go for half a second, you're no longer a racing driver. As many drivers once said, if you know what I'm trying to say, Isaac, you're a better man than me. But let's have a look. We're down to the last 20 seconds. Gee, we are having a great time. We hope you're enjoying it out there. We know you are. That's a silly thing to say. AGT, ACC, Season 2, Round 5. The American Grand Prix. And this is Q2 if you are just joining us and new to Adrenaline GT. Then where have you been? But it is great to have you as we are counting down the last seconds of Q2 here. And who have we got? Let's have a look at this track map. We've got a couple of drivers there coming across the line. That's going to be the first of them.
Burrows is out.
And Burrows is out. He is back in the pits.
He's in the lane.
He's back in the pits, but look at this. We've got Norley in the 82 Mercedes-Benz. Bang into the wall. He's gone. Finished. Out. And...
It's huge.
Whoa.
That is,
Well, it's
that is a huge accident.
good thing he's
And
parked
that
that
is-
up near the ambulance
Yes.
because that looked very serious.
That was a very heavy impact. That is his session over for Bob Norley. He was on a good lap at that point as well, looking to improve. This is Adam Joy. Can he improve his best time? Max Silver currently sits on the bubble. He'd be pushing out his teammate if he did it. Where is Max Silver on the track at the moment? Can he improve his lap time? Riley Nicholson could also improve. I believe he's on the lap at this stage. Andre Shepard, could he improve his lap time? There's a lot of questions being asked at the moment. Crucially, and he does not improve, but crucially, our Pro-Am Championship leader, Shannon Staley, is 20th place, Trev.
Unbelievable. Oh, you were made of questions there, Isaac. But that is an incredible qualifying session. Max Silver in P10. Oh, 1/10 of a second between Glory,
Nicholson.
a top 10 shootout. But we've got Mr. Nicholson coming round the final corner here.
This Nicholson, and I believe maybe Nicholson's invalidated, so that's it. He is out, and that means that our top 10, if we have a look, we're going to have Max Silver opening the top 10 shootout, and I believe going out last will be Simon Bishop.
Let's have a look here across the line. Oh, well, we thought that Nicholson could do something, but we are going back to the pit lane. Let's have a look at that. We know these guys up the top. They crashed at Roswell back in 1947, and, well, we're still trying to reverse engineer technologies, aren't we, Isaac, to get as quick as they are. We know what they can do, but let's have a look how close it got in that bottom half of the top 10 and just outside.
Yeah, it got super close between all of our drivers just outside the top 10. We have a look 1 second off for James Barton, and then we compare all the way down, less than a second between those top 20 drivers, less than half a second, or about 4/10 actually, from 9th place all the way back to 14th place. So that's very, very close. And now Max Silver will be the first driver out onto the circuit for our final qualifying session for our top 10 shootout. I will get the top 10 shootout order for you in just a moment. I'll hand over to you, Trevor, and I'll get a list of that order for you.
That would be fantastic as we take a look at this man, Max Silver, car number 75. And, of course, Adam Joy, his teammate for Define Motorsport 1, could not get into the top 10 shootout, but I'm sure that he will get much joy from watching his teammate Max Silver get the job done. Enterforce Racing, this team, of course, back in Season 1, as we see him getting ready now, warming up. Track temperature, it says 10 degrees. We know that is an error on the lobby. It is much, much warmer than that as the sun sets here at the Glen, this beautiful racing circuit. Founded in 1956, unchanged since 1971. And why would you want to change anything around this beautiful 5.5 kilometre circuit right near the Big Apple, or just outside in the great state of New York? As we can see here, Silver coming through, just making sure everything's up to temperature through turns 8, 9 and 10. Before the real action begins, of course. Top 10 shootout, new format here for our drivers. And aren't we loving it here this evening? And a couple of big drivers out, of course. Liam Tame, James Machin, if you're just joining us. Matty Simmons, Aidan Holton. And we can see there, it's beginning to a bit sideways there, you can see, as he starts his lap now in this top 10 shootout. It's going to be a Max Silver, followed by James Barton, but now through turn 1, slightly out of shape there, Isaac, but nothing too much to worry about through these first couple of corners for Max Silver.
No, absolutely not. He's doing a wonderful job. This is a guy that week in, week out can just put in consistent lap times. We spoke about him fondly in Season 1. He had a broken back less than 6 months ago in a major car accident, and he's jumped back in the sim rig. He's turning laps week in, week out. He's come a long way. Massive slide through the second phase of that bus stop. He's going to have to try and carry a lot of speed here. down in towards the chute, runs wide. That will invalidate his lap time, so I'd say that would be it. But we do encourage the drivers to continue on. So if that has invalidated his lap time, he'll be absolutely kicking himself. But we do encourage them to continue on and finish the lap anyway.
Absolutely, of course, because they are the only car out on the circuit, and it would help us. Certainly would help the viewers at home too to also get a good look at these drivers. How do we know that's... well, he's easing off, isn't he? So that's a good sign that things haven't gone his way. But we can see there he is coming around to complete his lap. Will he dive into the pit lane, or, as he said, Isaac, drivers encouraged to continue on?
Yeah, so we encourage the drivers to finish the lap just because we will then sort of order them in terms of where they went, and the game will order them in terms of when they set their time. So if anyone else does invalidate from this point on, he'll start 10th unless someone gets disqualified or something like that happens. But we do encourage all the drivers to finish their time just in case. So he crosses the line, no time has been set, so that's very disappointing for Max Silva. But just to be in the top 10 shootout, I'm sure, was really enjoyable. And now we head over to the 91 Highland Motorsport Ferrari.
Absolutely, a red Ferrari around Watkins Glen. Very nice to see, and it's driven by none other than James Barton, that 296 Ferrari in the Pro-Am class. Ferrari, only one in the top 10 shootout. Isaac, is that a surprise for you? To see that coming into this weekend?
This circuit, I think we've spoken about how this circuit is a very demanding of the high-end speed, the top-end speed of these cars. And the Ferrari just doesn't have it. It can help you if you're in a tow. I don't think over one lap on his own he's going to have a massive gain here, but you never know. He could surprise me. I could have to eat my words.
Let's wait and see. Well, he's an interesting character off the track, that's for sure. We know him well, but let's see what James Barton can do. How high can Highland Motorsport go here this evening in this top 10 shootout? Looking good through turn one as we see him there. Very nice indeed. A little bit, he's absolutely on it, isn't he? But just leaving a little bit on the table here, of course. Any time will get him up to P1, of course, but some big names coming up here. Down the back straight we go through the inner loop and the outer loop, and he's taken a bit too much curb. Through turn 5 we go, missing the apex there. It's, well, it's not the best, Isaac, but it's not the worst lap I've seen.
No, it's very tight. He hasn't invalidated yet, and that is crucial. Setting a time is key, because if someone ahead of you invalidates, that's a position gain. So this is where it's going to be important for him. He did, if I have a look at the time, he did a 44.7 to get into this session. So could we see him replicate that? I don't think so. I think we might see slightly slower times in the top 10 shootout, as all drivers only have one lap, really. But we could see something. We could see something really special from him here if he can piece it together.
Let's have a look. Slightly wide there. He comes through the heel. 8 and 9, done and dusted. We've only got 10 and 11 to go here. Looking good so far. Of course, it will be the first valid lap time of this top 10 shootout. As we see the sun setting here at the Glen. The crowd building very nicely indeed. Let's have a look and see. Oh, just... we need a camera on that wall, don't we, as he comes across the line now. What's it going to be? It's a 1:45.0. Neat and tidy, and Barton is on the board there. And Ferrari P1 for the time being. But now we've got the Mustang out there. At least we've got a time on the board there. Max Silva invalid for his time. So I'm guessing if everyone else at least sets a time, he will start in P10, but now we're looking at Gray about to start his lap in the Mustang.
Yeah, this is a 44.4 to get into the session, so a very quick lap time. I would expect we'd see something strong out of this Mustang. It's very fast in a straight line. We've been talking about it all week. It's just how quick this thing is. Only a 6 kilos of ballast in this car to push it forward, I believe. So Not a lot of weight, won't play a lot of factor, and with no one around you to slipstream, this is where it's going to be strong, this Mustang. It's going to come into its own. Only three Mustangs in this top 10. The 2 TTR Southside and 1 TTR Westside Mustang. And this is Adam Gray. Wonderful use of the curb, just brushing it ever so gently as he comes up through the S's, using all of the track. Now you want to run out wide. You don't want to brake too late for the bus stop here, just at the right time. How much curb does he use? That's a lot of curb that he's eaten, but the Mustang can take it. This thing can abuse curves, Trev.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be nice to curbs, does it? As we see TTR Southside, Adam Gray, what can he do? Looking very good. It just feels quick, doesn't it? And that Mustang eats curbs for breakfast. Oh, a little bit wide there onto the grass. That is going to affect him big time. It's going to cost him some time, I reckon, as we come through the toe now for the final part of this lap. Boy, the action we've seen tonight. Cannot wait for it to get underway on Sunday, of course. 2 hours of racing coming your way for the first endurance round of the season. Looking to just keep his foot in it here as he climbs the hill. We've got 9, 10 and 11 to go here. It's looking good. Is it going to be better than James Barton with a 1:45.032? I reckon it's going to be close. Oh, yes, very, very nice. Leaving a little bit on the table there. Through the final corner we go. How close is he going to get to this wall? Not quite James Barton close, but this looks like a good lap.
Oh, the lap just wasn't there for Adam Gray. I don't think he quite pieced it together, especially getting on the grass, as you mentioned, Trev. That'll cost you a few tenths. Getting in the wall and exit. Oh, that's Adam Elzine off and in the wall on the warm-up lap. So that is going to put some damage onto the 16 Porsche. That is massive for this session. That's going to leave a question mark over the stability of that car. It's definitely unsettled the aero. Whether it's bent the steering is another thing. Looks like a fairly hard impact.
Ooh, tell you what, you do not want to go off on the warm-up lap. We've got yellow flags out, and he is back into... No, he's not. Getting a little bit excited there, Isaac. Calm me down a bit. He's staying out on the track. There doesn't look to be any visual damage to that car, but that was a fair old whack on the wall, so we don't quite know what's going on internally damage-wise with that car.
No, that's going to be a question mark for this lap. That's a position already gained for James Barton over Adam Gray. Could this be another one at the hands of a damaged, a bruised and battered Porsche? We'll have to see. He also did a 44.4 to get into this session, a 44.47 to be exact. So we'll see what he can do this time around. The times haven't quite been there for most drivers on their lap at the moment, but here we go. He's underway, deep into turn 1. Pull it up as late as you can, throw it at the apex. Wide, not too wide though. If you go over those curbs, 4 wheels off onto the grey side of that curb on the left-hand side, you will invalidate your lap time, so you don't want to do that. But this looks like a nice run so far. Obviously, just looking at how much damage that Porsche may have.
Onto the back straight we go then. Looking a little bit twitchy there at the front end. That's how some drivers like it though, of course. Through the inner loop, now the outer loop, taking a little bit of curb. Not too much though on that occasion, as we see him come through turn 5, heading towards the chute now. And that damage doesn't look to be having too much of an impact so far on his lap time, but we'll wait and see. It's really a matter, isn't it, of if you can get a reasonably clean lap in, Isaac, the job's halfway done, isn't it? We've seen big moment there again for him through the toe, and surely that's got to be it for him this lap.
That was a huge moment. We've seen a few drivers. This is the pressure of the top 10 shootout though, isn't it, Trev? You're just out there by yourself. You only get one shot. Your heart rate is right up. I've seen it time and time again, even in real life, even in professional situations with guys that have done this thousands of times. It can bring you unstuck if you're not careful. So hopefully we'll see him cross the line with a valid time. It won't put him too far back. Obviously, remember Max Silver sitting in that P10 spot at the moment, but this has been great for James Barton, who's gained a few spots out of a time that I thought might not have been particularly strong. As he crosses the line, what's he going to do? It is 2:10, so a 45.2 or 45.3 actually it will be for Adam Elzine. So not quite there, but still ahead of Adam Gray.
Oh, not a bad lap, but boy, there was more drama on that warm-up lap and that hot lap than Netflix, wasn't it? It was deserved its own. They're making documentaries about everything, Isaac, now. We need one, some sort of limited series for that, don't we? There's so much to go through as we see now Nick Carter in the Mustang 711. And yes, let's have a look and see what he can do here as he comes through to start his hot lap. And I don't know about you, but TTR Westside, they've had a very, very good weekend so far. And this is going to be quite, I don't know about you, Isaac, but I reckon this is going to be quick here.
Yeah, look, Nick Carter, he's done this before. We've seen him in AusNZ countless times. If you follow that series, you'll have seen him do this before. This is not his first rodeo. He's a very fast driver. He knows how to keep calm. We should see a fairly... I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. I feel like I may just have, but as we come into the bus stop here, this Mustang can eat curbs. Look at the amount of curb he has used through that bus stop. I have not seen anyone use that amount of curb so far in this session. That's a very, very bold move, pushing it as wide as he can, using all the road. Look at that. This is a brilliant, brilliant display from Nick Carter. He's got this thing on the edge.
It certainly is. It's all about getting to that edge, isn't it? You do not want to go over the edge of the grip and the limit of the car and what it can do. And there's just something amazing about witnessing these drivers and their craft, I tell you. I could live to be 150 and still not pump in laps as quick as this, as we see Nick Carter. Can it be pole position for TTR Westside? Got a point to prove, don't they, after finishing second in Season 1. And, of course, no James Machin tonight, so can he get it onto pole position? He's looking good here so far. Ford Mustang there inside the top 3 at the moment. But what can he do here? Through the final corner we go. We've seen them getting close to this wall here. Not quite on that occasion. A 45.0 is what we're looking for, and it is a 44.417. Oh, the big boys have come to play now.
Yeah, that is really, we didn't really have an understanding as such of what the lap times were going to be like from the fast guys, but a 44.4 from Nick Carter, that is a absolutely stonking, if you let me, if I'm allowed to say that, stonking lap. That's actually faster, I would like to point out, than the lap he did to get in. He did a 44.41, he did a 44.43, so he's 200ths faster in that lap, so he's found time. What can Cameron Fleming do as he starts his lap now?
Oh, let's just wait and see. BCG2, another man missing his teammate, of course, with Matty Simmons. Happy birthday to Matty Simmons. And yes, I know everything about that man, but he's not with us tonight. It's all about this man, Cameron Fleming. Sounded a bit weird, didn't it? But let's have a look. We know that the Mustangs eat curbs for breakfast, but what about the BMWs? We've got 3 inside this top 10 shootout here. Here comes Cam Fleming. Oh, looking very settled over the bumps there through the bus stop. We call it the bus stop, the inner loop, the outer loop, whatever it's called, but he is looking good so far here. Just keeping it very smooth, and that 44.4 by Nick Carter, 6/10 ahead of James Barton. And Elzine there with 9/10 further back, and then 1.1 back to Gray. And you can see the Porsche. It's 3 different manufacturers inside the top 3 at the moment. But around the toe we come, getting ready to finish this one off. The boot, the heel, turns 8, 9, 10. And this is looking good. It's, well, it's looking on the limit. As we can see here, Cameron Fleming, are we going to see a BCG car on at P1 for the big race on Sunday? He's keeping a little bit back here. He's looking good so far here, Isaac, as we come towards the end of this lap.
He's looking strong. He's met every apex using all the road. Look at that, the way he straddles the curb on the exit of turn 10 into turn 11 now, using all the runoff, not quite out to the wall, then keep it pointed straight, crosses the line. Where does he go? Seconds, half a second off of Nick Carter. So that actually raises questions for me, Trev. He's half a second off of Nick Carter. Has Nick Carter just pulled out a time out of nowhere? Is he just on fire and everyone else is struggling? What's it going to look like with these 4 guys left to run? We've got Braden Henderson about to do his lap. Then we'll have Simon Bishop, then Matt Tinetti, and then Josh Struick. Where does Nick Carter fall in here? That's the big question I'm asking.
Oh, we'll be aiming for a top 3, I reckon. We've got Struick, of course, Tinetti and Bishop, 3 big guns along with this man in Henderson. Let's see what he can do now. Braden Henderson in the Pro-Am class. Mercedes AMG, beautiful looking car, of course. And let's have a look at what he can do here through this part of the lap. Can we get a Mercedes? We've seen one, of course, already. Driven by Max Silva, invalidating his lap. And it's going to be about this man here. Down the back straight we go. And the drivers, of course, with all of the track to themselves here. And when the pressure, you see some drivers enjoy that pressure, don't they, Isaac? But some, they just seem to struggle with the attention on them. You're the only car out on the circuit. The broadcast is on you. The commentary's on you. The pressure is well and truly on in this one-lap run.
Yeah, and a lot of them will be aware of that. They'll be trying to block it out, but sometimes you just can't help it. You just know that is on, that everything is on you. Everyone's looking at you at this moment in time, and some of them soak up that pressure, as we've seen Nick Carter do. But what can Braden Henderson do? It's been a very tidy lap so far. I'd love some sort of indicator to know where he's at in terms of a lap time, but we're very limited in what we get with ACC and the broadcasting for console, which that's completely fine. We will wait and see. It keeps us on the edge of our seat, as it does for you guys at home as well. This has been very tidy. He's met every apex, used as much of the road as he can, into turn 10 now. How much does he use here? Pushes it out nice and wide, throws the car in to this final sequence of corners. Not as much curb as we saw Cameron Fleming use. Into the, doesn't quite make the apex at the final corner. Nice and wide. Run towards the line. Foot flat to the floor. What can he do? It's second, and it's just second. Less than a tenth to Nick Carter. That is a wonderful lap time for Braden Henderson. A brilliant job to put that up into provisional P2.
Oh, that is very, very quick indeed, as we take a look at this man, Simon Bishop. Wow, he has done everything there is to do in the world of sim racing across all platforms, whatever it is, whether it's GT7, ACC, whatever he does, I'm sure he is quick. Whatever he puts himself into, he is super quick as he comes down into turn 1. Now, car number 1, our champion, of course, for the BCG Motorsport concern. BCG1 missing his teammate, of course, tonight, who is being replaced, of course, but you can see this is where it is going to get serious here. What can we expect to see on this lap? And because he is a absolute beast behind the wheel of that BMW, and so far looking good, taking a little bit too much curb there through the inner loop.
Yeah, he's the first of our 43 runners, our 143 runners in qualifying too. So this is where the fast guys really come out to play, using as much of that curb as he can. Was that invalidated? I don't know. It looked like he might have gotten away with it, but we'll find out when he gets to the line. He's going to keep it pinned for now, so I assume we are okay. Matt Tinetti out on the circuit for his outlap as well, but it's all about Simon Bishop at this stage, using as much of the road as he can, nice and wide, on exit, out of the toe. Foot flat to the floor, running towards the heel for the first and only time in this session on a flying lap. Throws the car in, nice and deep under brakes. Oh, loose on the curb on exit. That was very slidey. That will cost you a few tenths right there. Into turn 9. Up towards the final sequence of corners now. You cannot get any wider. This man has done this many times before. He knows where the track limit is. He knows what he has to do. Straddles the curb through turn 10 into turn 11. As much of the curb as he can, wide on exit towards the line. What is it going to be for Simon Bishop? It is provisional pole position by 3 tenths, a 44-1.
Wow, a 44-1 for Simon Bishop. The Kiwi goes to the top of our timing sheets. And I'd love to be a fly on the inner wall of that car, because I wonder what he would be saying. Oh, that was a pretty good lap. I'm sure that's how he would sound inside that car. And a 44-1, it's not guaranteed, because guess what? We've got Matt Dinetti out on the circuit now.
Yeah, here we go. This is where crunch time. Championship leader. The pressure is on. I like to say he's got a 100% record of pole positions in shootouts. The only other shootout he's participated in was Indianapolis for OzNZ. He stuck it on pole that day, beating the likes of Matt Simmons, Twitchy, and Distinct Andrew, and quite a few other fast names as well that we see constantly at the top of the timesheets on this and many other racing simulators. Nice run so far through this lap. Deep under brakes into the bus stop for the inner loop, using not as much curb as Simon Bishop did, but that's a nice flow through this section, Trev.
Certainly is. Let's take a look at what he can do in this final sector now. Matt Dinetti, hot property in the world of sim racing. Almost as hot property as Mr. AGT, the man alongside me, Isaac Fogarty, but he is getting there. Ooh, very tight indeed for the number 51 BMW. Here is Matt Dinetti for CP Motorsports. It's like a tradition, isn't it? He's missing his teammate as well. But anyway, never mind about that, because this is a pro class driver, and boy, they do things very, very differently, don't they? We keep referring to them as aliens. It is because they are quicker than anything we have seen in our universe that we know of. But we're coming up to the final couple of quarters now. It looks steady. But how quick is this lap going to be? Can it be CP Motorsports? Will it be BCG or CP, or will there be a surprise coming up? Let's have a look around this final corner we go. Nice and tight there through that final part of the lap, across the line. The Marshall in... Oh, look how close it is! Wow, a 44.135. 140. I can't count because that's how excited I am at the moment. But what a lap that was, but not quite close enough.
Cannot get closer. Well, you probably can get closer than that, but that is so close. One lap, all to themselves, and they're within about 200s off of each other. And this man, the fastest man in qualifying, is yet to set a lap, and he's going to set one now.
Let's have a look and see what he can do. Oh, Josh Struick, TTR Southside in the Mustang across the line. That Marshall, I wonder what they're paying him. He's continuing to wave that yellow flag, isn't he? Goodness me, he's very keen at what he does. But let's have a look. Oh, talk us through a lap, and how quick is this going to be? 44.1 is what we're aiming for. And so far, so good. He is flying. It's looking pretty good to here as we come onto the back straight.
Yeah, it looks very tidy so far. Tidy doesn't necessarily mean fast, though, and you hear that a lot in motorsports around the world. Tidy never means fast, but look at that. That's a lovely flow across the bus stop chicane, in through the inner loop, into the outer loop now, chucking the car into the corner, which you can afford to do in this Mustang. It just throws its weight around like it's nothing. He'll have a very fast setup on that car into the chute. Down towards the boot now. This is the crucial section of circuit. You want to get everything right through here. You can find so much time if you get it right. Braking heavily, a lot of curb usage, hugging the inside line. Nice and wide now out to the exit on the run down towards the heel. This is turn 8. You want to nail this as well. Nice and deep. Downhill braking zone, very different from the uphill braking zone you just had the corner before. A lot to think about around here. A very, very busy lap for our drivers. Heavy braking into turn 9. Throw the car in. How much does he get on exit? He doesn't use as much curb as we saw the BMWs using, but he might not need it. Into turn 10. This is where you can easily invalidate. Doesn't go too wide. That's very nice, very tidy. Through the final corner, what can he do? Foot flat to the floor, towards the line. What is it going to be for Josh Struick as he crosses the line?
Oh, no!
It's second. Oh, it's the same time.
My...
Simon Bishop and Josh Struick have done the exact same time. I do not believe it, Trev.
I have never ever seen this before, ever. And I've seen a lot of sim racing. I've called a few races in my time, but that That is 2 identical times for Simon Bishop and Josh Struick, but of course Simon Bishop gets there in the end purely and simply because of the fact that he set the time first. But look at that.
Yeah. Oh, and we did set the precedent that the driver who set the time first gets the pole position. So that is it. Simon Bishop is your pole sitter, despite doing the exact same time as Josh Struick. I cannot believe it. Look at the sector times. Josh Struick, that Mustang, absolutely flying 3/10 clear in the first sector, but Simon Bishop just through that technical second and third sector was able to claw it back, and they've done the exact same time. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I've seen it in other positions, haven't you? Obviously with top 20s and top 10s, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it for P1 and P2 ever. I didn't think it was possible. I sort of wrote it off in my head, I'll be honest. And well, Josh Quicker in that first sector, 3/10 up there or thereabouts. And Simon gaining a couple of tenths on him in that second part of the lap and another 10th to both finish on a 44.115. Unbelievable. And those two will start, and you got a feel for Josh Struick, but we can't both give them pole position. It will be Simon Bishop starting on pole position for the big race on Sunday. But there's not often I'm struggling to find words and struggling to put them out into the broadcast, into the world here tonight, Isaac. But I just don't know what I'm speechless. That is incredible. That is just unbelievable.
We had a lot of questions coming into this race. The BMW guys weren't too thrilled with the balance of power. They said they weren't going to be as fast as the Mustangs. I think if there's any evidence that balance of power works, Trev, it's that. The fact that both drivers in two different cars have done the exact same lap time. You can't get any more balance of power than that.
Wow. So there we go. The final results from our top 10 shootout are on your screen. Simon Bishop, Josh Struick there, 1 and 2. Nothing between them. Well, forget about a cigarette paper because there is nothing between them. Mantonetti in third, Nick Carter in fourth, Henderson fifth, and Cameron Fleming in sixth. James Barton, good to see a Ferrari up there inside the top 10. Elzine struggled with his lap, didn't he? But set a 45.325. And then Gray in the Ford Mustang there with a 45.5. Max Silver didn't set a time. Unfortunate for him as we see our drivers now leaving the session. But that is just a truly incredible finish to the qualifying session. And I mean, you just cannot script this stuff, can you? It does not get any better than live sim racing. In fact, live sports in general, Isaac, because just when you think you've seen everything, something like this comes along and completely blows you away.
I'm absolutely speechless. There's a lot of moments in sim racing that have taken my breath away and made me stop and do a double take, but that is absolutely one of them. I have never seen that before, and to just a shout out to Mantonetti as well. He's only 200ths off that. We've got three cars that you essentially could put a toothpick on the start finish line and they'd all be touching that toothpick. Like, it's ridiculous how close these guys are. These are our main championship combatants as well. It's absolutely insane. A second between the top 7 cars in qualifying. What more is there to say? That was absolutely just nuts. Well done to all of our drivers today. Congratulations, Simon Bishop, on a wonderful pole position. Josh Struick, Mantonetti, everybody else that participated in that qualifying session. Just my hat's off to you, because that is a wonderful, wonderful effort.
Unbelievable, and what a way to start a brand new format with our first endurance round of the season. Well, it well and truly has delivered here at Watkins Glen this evening, of course. Well, let's just take a moment to unpack that for our viewers. But, of course, Sunday, Isaac, we go once again, 120 minutes of action. And if it's as close as that, it might be a dead heat for the finish line as well. But the big race coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, if qualifying and how close that was is anything of a precursor as to what we're going to see on Sunday, I'm all for it. Count me in. I'm already going to be there anyway, but I will absolutely be there with bells on. I'm so excited to see what happens after we go racing for 2 hours on Sunday. It's going to be a cracker.
It's going to be a grueling 2 hours, isn't it, for our drivers? Multiple stops, variable weather. We'll keep that strategy well and truly open. And that is all the details there on your screen, of course. That is a wrap for this incredible history-making qualifying session, certainly for me. Isaac, thank you for joining us for the last 90 minutes or so, and cannot wait to see you again on Sunday.
Yeah, thanks, Trev. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and listening to us talk about race cars for the last hour and a half. It's been some absolutely incredible action to watch, and I've loved every minute of it. Very excited for Sunday.
Absolutely, cannot wait for that. Of course, AGT YouTube, and we'll get Twitch as well up and running for the big race. It's been a pleasure to bring this to you. TrackSpotTV, of course. Time for a revolution in sim racing. And if you want to get involved, of course, all the W's.trackspot.tv. If you want to get involved as well, send a message, of course, to our founder, George Cook, if you want to get on board with some commentary. But that's all we've got time for here this evening. Don't forget to join us for the big race on Sunday. And like we keep saying, if that qualifying session is anything to go by, it's going to be an absolute cracker. But for now, it's goodbye from Watkins Glen. See you next time.
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted.